Today we're going to dive into our book looking at Chapter 2, Economies. So you need to be opened up with your book to page 48, ready to follow along with our reading. You see people spend and earn money every day. You can spend money to buy goods, and your teacher earns money by providing a service. Goods are items that you can see, like pencils or cars. Businesses sell goods for people to use. Services are work that people do, such as fixing a car or cutting your hair. You are a consumer or user of goods and services. So goods, I like to think about a Walmart trip. Everything that you get at Walmart is going to be a good. So you could get clothes, food, toys, technology, or hygiene products like shampoo, soap, things like that. Services is going to be something that a person does. So your book said that your teacher earns money by providing a service. So teachers provide a service. They teach you. You're a student. Doctors provide a service. They keep our community healthy. Hairstylists, they make sure that we are looking good, that our hair is nice and clean and cut. Mechanics, if your car isn't working, your adults are going to bring their car to a mechanic. And trash men and women, think about if nobody was around to take out your trash and there was just trash everywhere. That would be gross. So a service is something that somebody does. A good is something that you can physically touch. You can see it. Early economies. Early American settlers had to rely on themselves to provide everything they needed. So really long ago, people were super spread out because there weren't as many people here yet. So when people are really spread out, there's a lot of space in between them. They had to rely on themselves to get all the things that they needed. They had to grow their own food, build their own homes, and mend their own clothes. They had to use what they found nearby. So think about if you lived and there was nobody else near you. So you had to use maybe the trees around you to build your own home. You had to grow your own food, and then if you needed clothes, you had to make them yourself. And if they ripped, well, you had to fix them yourself too. As settlements grew, a settlement would be a group of people. So now you can see that we've got 3 little houses and 3 little families there. That would be a settlement. And there's multiple settlements, so multiple groups of people. As settlements grew, people traded or earned money to get what they needed. They bought local goods. That means they bought them from nearby or things made near where they were sold. For example, suppose a family grew extra beans. They might trade or sell the beans to someone who had fruit or knew how to repair a wagon wheel. So let's pretend that this family up here, their land did really well. They grew extra beans this year. But maybe this family over here, they did really well and they were able to grow extra fruit. But they didn't grow enough beans. So now, these 2 families, they can trade because they're close together, so they don't have to go far away to find each other, and they have extras of their materials. As time went on, entrepreneurs built businesses to provide goods or services for growing towns. An entrepreneur is somebody that sells things. Many businesses that started long ago are still in business today. They helped shape other businesses. Producing and buying local goods. In the 1800s, immigrants from Cape Verde, which are islands off the coast of West Africa, settled in the port of New Bedford, Massachusetts. So this first circle, these little itty bitty tiny dots, those are the islands of Cape Verde, and they immigrated to Massachusetts, which is over here. We live right about here. They were known for their hard work on whaling and fishing boats. So this picture up here, says Cape Verdeans bought boats called packet boats to carry passengers between Cape Verde and New Bedford. This is a picture of what one of those boats might have looked like. Today, millions of pounds of cod, haddock, and scallops are processed in New Bedford every year. Those are all kinds of fish, right? So we read that they were known for their hard work on whaling and fishing boats, and still to this day, cod, haddock, and scallops are processed where those people immigrated to. So that shows us that some of these businesses that started hundreds of years ago, they're still around. They're still really important to our economy. Producers, the makers of goods, often build their businesses near the things they need to make the goods. Why? Because being close to the resource saves money shipping the resources to other places. So let's pretend that I wanted to make cars. So if I want to make cars, I'm going to try to be close to the factory that has the metal for the cars. And I'm going to try to be close to all the other places that have the parts that I need to make cars. That way, I only have to pay for my resources to come from maybe the next city over instead of across the whole country. If they save money, the goods cost less to sell. If I make a car and the car costs me $1,000 to make, well, I obviously need to make money, so I'm going to sell the car for maybe $2,000 to you. But if I can make a car for $800 because my resources are close to me, then I can sell the car to you for less than $2,000, and then you have to spend less on it. So that's why it's important for businesses to get their resources from close places, so that way it can cost less to make the item, and then I can sell it to our consumer for less. As you have read, settlers had only local products to choose from. Today we have choices from near and far. Even so, many people still try to buy products that are produced nearby. They might do this for several reasons. Perhaps they like to support small businesses that people in their community own. They might like to save the cost of shipping goods from far away. They may feel that food produced closer is fresher. In some ways, buying locally produced goods is like returning to an earlier time. So maybe your family chooses to get vegetables from a local farm stand instead of buying them from a grocery store where they might come from far away. That's one way that you would be buying local goods. Or maybe instead of going to a really big store to get furniture, you go to somebody close by that makes furniture. Goods from far away. Long ago, traveling in a horse-pulled wagon to get supplies could take a day or longer. When settlers got to the store, they would have only a few choices of what to buy. Today, you can drive or walk to a nearby store in just minutes. You can also shop on the internet. You can choose products from local producers or from places around the world. A store may import goods. Import means to bring in goods from another country. You can buy cheese made in France, pants sewn in India, or fruit grown in Colombia. You will likely eat or wear something today that came from another part of the United States or from another country. Somewhere in the world, there's a third grader who is eating or wearing something grown or made in your region. Producers may get or secure new customers if they export their products to faraway places. So if I'm making my cars, I am producing those cars. I'm able to sell more if I export my product even farther away. So instead of just selling to maybe the town of Millville, where I can only sell to a few people, I'll export my car all over the world where I can sell to millions of people. Export means to send goods out to another country. Having new consumers increases the amount of money a business makes. Consumers often like to try new products or purchase products that are not made near them. Even though oranges do not grow in Alaska, a child in Alaska can drink orange juice for breakfast. That orange juice may have been made in Florida. The next time you are in a store, look to see where products are grown or made. So your clothes will have little tags on them that'll say where they were made. Or sometimes if you go to the grocery store, you'll see a little tag that'll say it's from maybe Brazil or somewhere in South Africa. Or sometimes it's from another state. It can be from all over the world. So Pennsylvania, we have our own imports and exports. So remember, if we import something, that means that it is coming to Pennsylvania from somewhere else. The things that Pennsylvania imports are medicine, cars, oil, and phones. All things that are super important to us every day, right? We use medicine to keep us healthy. Our cars help us get around. Oil is used for heating our houses, and phones we use to talk to each other. Exports, or the things that Pennsylvania makes and we send all over the world, are coal, airplane parts, helicopters, vaccines, which are like shots that help to keep you healthy, and agricultural products. So that means the things that are grown on farms like soybeans and corn. They are all made in Pennsylvania and we send them out around the world. It's super cool that we can have an outreach like that.